Hey guys, I'm Dov, and today I'm back with more Total War Warhammer 2 online action. Today we're here with the lovely, cuddly Skaven and our allies, the Greenskins. This is indeed a 2v2 with myself and Black Iron joining forces, the Skaven and the Greenskins together. We're going to be fighting the combined might of the High Elves and the Empire, so let's go ahead and jump to the army compositions. So I'm going to start out with Black Iron's army, since he's got this kind of the center here. As you can see from our deployment, he's kind of brought the core, whereas I've got my groups out on the flanks. So let's go ahead and take a look at said core. He's got 4 big uns up front. These guys are going to be great at killing most, Empire infantry. They'll be decent against low-tier High Elf infantry as well. Anti-large bonus, just a solid all-around unit in most aspects. Also got the 8-peak loonies as well as the Warlord's Boys for that armor sundering and unbreakable fanatics. We've also got 2 units of Black Orcs. The Hog Lord himself, Wurzag, looks like he's carrying Effigy of the Git, Foot of Gork, Fists of Gork, and Brain Bursta for that nice cheap proc of the Bonewood Staff. That's why you bring the Brain Bursta. Foot of Gork's fairly self-explanatory, as is Fists of Gork. He also has Wurzag's Revenge and the Squiggly Beast. Very good stuff. So, yeah, that's pretty much it. There are some units out on the periphery, of course, for the Greenskins, being that they're a very mobile faction. We've got some Nasty Skulkers here, and another unit of Nasty Skulkers way out on the far side. There's also these Orc Boar Biggins here. We've got 2 Orc Boar Biggins led by a Goblin Big Boss. Very fun stuff. For my build, we've got a Rat Ogre Bonebreaker as the Lord here. We've also got, supporting this flank, kind of this contingent here, we've got 2 regular Clan Rats, no shields, 1 Clan Rat Spears, a Skaven Slave Slinger, and a unit of Rat Ogres. We've also got the Warlock Engineer, Warlock Engineer over on this side. He's got just the Warpstone Armor and Howling Warp Gale, since we might see some Dragons and or Griffins in this matchup. Very good stuff. We've also got a unit of Clan Rat Spears and another Rat Ogre in a sweeper position in the rear of the formation, as well as a Skaven Slave Slinger out front. And on this side, another Skaven Slave Slinger, another Clan Rat, another Clan Rat Spear, and 1 more Rat Ogre. We've also got, of course, 2 Warp Lightning Cannons, 1 on each flank, acting as the long-range option. And we've also got 2 Gutter Runners out front to kind of screen the advance of this force here. So quite a bit of units going on here, and yeah, should be a fun time. Let's go ahead and take a look at the High Elves. Teclis is currently getting blasted by Warp Lightning Cannons. He is riding out a little bit recklessly in front of his force, but let's go ahead and take a look at the spell kit. It looks like Chain Lightning, Net of Amantok, and Flock of Doom, so lots of blob-busting infantry-killing spells, which honestly, considering the two factions he's facing, is pretty good. We've also got the Bound Fiery Convocation as well, Potion of Chiroi, typical stuff. I'm not sure about the Kindle Flame. You can usually drop that unless you're taking Flaming Sword of Ruin. But in terms of the rest of the High Elf army, we've got 4 Lothern Seaguard up front, no shields there. We've got 3 White Lions, make that 4. It looks like 5th out on the far side, and 2 Swordmasters of Hoeth, with a Tirnock Chariot for the sole mobile option. For the Empire, it's going to be a fairly straightforward army. 4 Great Swords in the center. We've got Sigmar's Sons and another unit of Swordsmen sporting on the flanks. 2 units of Spearmen and 2 Handgunners. One of them is the Silver Bullets. We've also got an Amber Wizard on the ground and Boris Todbringer up in the air. In addition, we've got, looks like on the far side, we've got Empire Knights over here, Zintler's Reichsguard Vanguard deployed, who look like they're going to be getting into a pitched engagement with these Orc Boar Biggins right off the bat. And yeah, that's everything. So let's go ahead and kick things into full gear. High Elves are going to be advancing up across this line, and Teclis is going to be taking some serious fire from that Warp Lightning Cannon. I've temporarily targeted on the Swordmasters of Hoeth, but we're going to retarget Teclis momentarily. He's also going to take a lot of skirmish fire from the Gutter Runners here, which is really unfortunate. Meanwhile, over on this side, we've got the Zintler's Reichsguard engaged on these Orc Boar Biggins here. The Orc Boar Biggins do have a lot more numbers here. They also have the Armor Piercing and Bonus versus Large. Doesn't look like the Reichsguard got the best charge on there, so it does look like they're going to suffer pretty badly here. Of course, the Goblin Big Boss does also carry poison as well, so once he starts getting his attacks in there, they'll get poisoned. Wiston's Wild Form, though, upgraded, being dropped, and a Flock of Doom nicely catching most of these units here. The Empire Knights are also going to come into support, and while they don't have the best combat stats, they do have a decent charge bonus. They'll be able to do some damage on the charge and be able to kind of hold these guys in place. Looks like the Amber Wizard investing very heavily here in trying to bring these troops down, and Nasty Skulker is also going to be getting involved. We've got this Warp Lightning Cannon locked onto Boris Todbringer. This Warp Lightning Cannon just killed Teclis. He just got blasted off his horse. Did not stand a chance, you know, against that kind of long-range pressure at this distance. So now we're going to be retargeting that one. Looks like we're getting on that White Lions there. Tyrannok Chariots kind of trying to come in on this flank, so we're going to be screening with the Rat Ogres and some beautiful cinematic shots. As you can see, the forces of the Empire going to be engaging with the Greenskins on this side, and my own forces. Black Iron's going to be peeling two big ants to come in over here. And looks like so far that's it. We're going to be setting up the Gutter Runners in a screening position here by the pond. And yeah, so far so good. We have been able to do quite a bit of damage to those Swordmasters of Hoeth as well. Now coming in on this side, Foot of Gork there on those handgunners that I just missed. You can see them getting blasted. Boris also coming down in here, so just absolute anarchy all across the field. I did switch sides. I don't know if you noticed, but I did switch sides. I have now my Plague Priest over on this side, and unfortunately didn't quite get the Howling Warp Gale off as I intended to pin Boris in place, but we do still have both Warp Lightning Cannons targeted on him, and although he did come in and get a charge, he did terrify away these Skaven Slave Slingers. We are going to inundate him now with Rat Ogres and just kind of pin him in place, and he's going to be just slightly far enough away that I believe this Warp Lightning Cannon is going to be able to shoot in point blank. You can see the handgunners opening up shots on Wurzag, so a little bit unfortunate there, but yeah, being pinned in place. We also do drop the Howling Warp Gale, also Flock of Doom, just all the spells being dropped here, all kinds of madness all over the place. This the drain from the Warpstone armor is also going to be nice. The Warlock Engineer also has armor piercing in melee, so he can definitely get some work done against those great swords. You can see Boris getting blasted point blank, and just the withering fire from both Warp Lightning Cannons is going to take him down pretty effectively. White Lions trying to advance up on this side, getting caught up on the Biggins though after I screened out effectively with the Gutter Runners. The Plague Master here dropping that Wither, giving all these troops in his pocket minus 30 armor. We've got Black Orcs and everything rolling up on here. It's just an absolutely wild fight. These White Lions have managed to make it all the way through to the Gutter Runners, but they're having a really bad time. You can see holding pretty effectively on this side. We've got Rat Ogres on top of these units. The Tyrannok Chariots are clogged up in the Rat Ogres, which is exactly what we want. We did lose a Clan Rat here, but my opponent not collapsing on the Warp Lightning Cannon like he should. Probably he should peel the Swordmasters and go collapse on the Warp Lightning Cannon and leave the White Lions to come support in this fight. Got a little over aggressive with my Rat Ogre Warlord here, charging into the back line, taking a lot of fire from these Lothran Seaguard. He is going to unfortunately rout off, but he won't die, which is what I want here. Nasty Skulker is going to be coming out of the forest to get on these Lothran Seaguard and tie them up. Also, you can see we've broken most of this pocket here. The High Elves leadership is very shaky because they've lost Teclis so early on, and Boris is also effectively taken off the battlefield, actually shattered at this point and being chased by lowly clan rats with spears kind of poked in the back. So yeah, Boris is done for. Now we're able to just turn our Warp Lightning Cannon onto whatever, and you can see the drain effect from the Warpstone armor is going to be affecting quite a few units here. Wurzag himself, and just charge from the Rat Ogres in the side who had Boris pinned down, now coming in for a nice shock charge on those Sigmar Suns. You can see the drain effect, all those units that's affecting here. It's really, really devastating. The handgunners are still alive here, but the backline's now been inundated by the Borbigans who won the battle with the Reichsguard over on the far side. So just all three phases on this one, we're able to kind of, you know, work together effectively. A really nice brain burst there, just breaking the morale of that handgunners, and again, proccing that Bonewood Staff for all these units all across the board. They're going to be getting that nice little melee attack buff. And yeah, White Lions are pushing through on certain areas. The High Elf infantry at this point has pretty much been broken. So yeah, we are going to look at an army loss situation. A lot of these Lothran Seaguard have been inundated by the forces that broke through the White Lions in the front. You can see Biggins just coming in here, cutting up these Lothran Seaguard with the little rats scurrying in between. Normally it's the goblins scurrying in between, but this time the rats have made a somewhat uneasy alliance, I would imagine, with the Greenskins. But yeah, it's just going to be the unbreakable troops at this point, so thanks for Black Iron to play in this. I have this one and another 2v2 that I'm going to be showing a little bit later, but I know some of you guys were asking for some Skaven gameplay, so I figured I would bring you this. A little bit of a quick 2v2, but definitely a lot of fun. Very wild battle. You know, the Warp Lightning Cannons on that particular map are super strong just because it's a very open map, especially on a 2v2. You know, you kind of, the way they advance, they kind of spread out, advanced both sides of that little pond there just ended up taking a lot of fire on their high-value targets, and the loss of leadership was very devastating, especially for the High Elves here. Techless, 0 kills, killed without even casting a single spell, I don't think, so really unfortunate for our opponents there. But, you know, it's the nature of the beast with these Warp Lightning Cannons. 50 kills, 2 XP chevrons on this guy. For the rest of my army, honestly, not that many kills. The Rat Ogre's definitely got some good work in, though, and the Plague Priest and the Warlock Engineer as well, kind of doing the specialty work, helping to support Black Iron's infantry, who all did very well for themselves. Biggins, 100 kills in this Biggin is very nice. Black Orcs weren't really touched. They weren't really challenged too much. And the Gaba is also pulling through very well. Also, the Orc Boar Biggins did take a beating, but then the Nasty Skulkers were able to come in on the side there and kind of clean things up for the Empire player, who, yeah, losing those cavalry early on was very devastating. And the Great Swords, I'm honestly not the biggest fan of Great Swords, just because this is a kind of a good example why. I mean, yeah, they'll perform well against certain units, but they're just going to kind of struggle to cut through a lot of fodder units, especially when they're being attacked by, you know, Wurzag and having rear charges and so on. It's really tough, you know, in that kind of situation. So probably going a little bit cheaper on the infantry and bringing more heavy cavalry would have been better for our opponents here. I almost think that Volkmar may have been the best pick. In a wild 2v2 like that, you know, the banishments can be super strong. He also has Fear and Terror. The regeneration makes him very, very tanky and hard to kill. So, yeah, just a thought. Chariots tend to be good against Skaven as well, so I do think that Volkmar's the best pick in that matchup. I also think the Volkmar is pretty decent against the Greenskins in most situations. So I hope you guys enjoyed watching that battle. If you like this kind of content, like and subscribe. I'm keeping it coming with more Total War Warhammer 2 content every single day. Be sure to check out Black Iron Battles. I'll have a link to his channel down in the description below, and we'll see you next time.